Hello and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We have been off for pretty much the whole week here at Lebanon Valley. Of course, we have been reduced to 2 teams this semester, so there hasn't been as much to cover, but I'm excited to be back as always. The season's coming down to the very, very end here. Nationals even is right around the corner, and this match is very impactful for that exact tournament, as we have Lebanon Valley taking on Carthage Red. Carthage Black is actually on the other side of the bracket. I believe they lost their match in the first round, so I don't think they're in it anymore, but they were at least in for the time, for at least into the playoffs for a little bit. But, of course, this is a different Carthage team than what we saw this team play beforehand, so different rosters. This Carthage team, is pretty decent from what I've seen, at least in terms of stats, in terms of the record that they have. They were 4-1. Their one loss coming to the top-seeded Mizzou, and if you're unfamiliar with the Midwest/West divisions of Rocket League, Mizzou is a really solid team up there. Again, I'm personally kind of surprised they're not in Legends, but NECC has a tendency to not put teams in the places that they should be, so that does end up happening from time to time. But Mizzou is the only team that has beaten this Carthage squad, at least in NECC play. I can't really speak for NACE. I didn't bother to look, to be honest with you, but I don't think Carthage plays in NACE, or at least for Rocket League, I don't think they do. They might for other titles, though. But looking into this matchup here, I'm kind of curious. Again, if you were not here for the previous matches that this team has had, or the previous match that this team had, they are playing without their captain Frenchie for the rest of the semester, as they are still adjusting to having Blarf in the lineup. Unfortunately, again, Captain Frenchie ended up cutting his hand open, so it just didn't. He just unfortunately cannot play. He literally cannot hold. I mean, he can hold a controller now, but he can't really play at all. So unfortunately, they have to go the rest of the season without him. But this is a very important matchup. The team has been making sure to make preparations for it in that exact nature, as we talk a little bit here about Lebanon Valley and what they are bringing to the table today in terms of what they have prepped for. And, of course, that prep has included the LAN environment style that we here at LVC get to have. They have been playing in our esports arena every single day or not every single day, but like 2 or 3 days this week. And I think most of last week they practiced here in our arena, which is not the case usually for their scrims. They typically stay in their rooms and scrim. So they've gone all out this week to prep and make sure that they're ready for this matchup, especially having to adjust without the captain Frenchie. Of course, he's an incredible player, so having to replace him is not necessarily the easiest thing. But we did get to see this team. They beat University of Wisconsin at Milwaukee 3-1 in the quarterfinal. So they have some prep here, or they have some work together as a team. This 3-man squad, and Blarf, Bichettes, and Samus. And, of course, Bichettes and Samus still being part of the team as well. Very helpful there. So this is a 2-seed versus 3-seed matchup. Of course, Carthage, again, their only loss coming against Mizzou, who is a very, very solid squad. They took them to Game 5, actually, and they ended up losing Game 5 3-0. But outside of that, every single game was 3-2. And, like, I literally mean that. Games 1 through 4 were 3-2. Two of them, or of course, 2 of them each being for each side, Mizzou and Carthage, and ended up being Mizzou who took the Game 5 3-0. So the winner of this game will go on to play the winner of Mizzou and Indiana Cream. That is not a name I made up. That is their actual name, even though Cream is not in their logo or in their colors at all. They will play the winner of Mizzou and Indiana Cream. The loser will play the loser of that game in the 3rd place matchup. I do see we are in the game, but I believe the Carthage players need to join first, so we will have a couple seconds to kind of discuss a little bit more as we prepare for this semifinal matchup. It is best of 7 today, so make sure you guys remember that. And, of course, it'll be on the top of our scoreboard. We have Dustin, Saucy, and Vale. I apologize. These names are really going to be hard for me to pronounce, seeing the way that they are. But I'll do my best as always. So let's talk a bit more about Nationals while the teams are getting into it. Actually, we don't need to talk about Nationals because we need to talk about this game. We are here and ready to go. So let's actually just have to wait for the 3rd player to join on the Carthage side, and then we'll be ready to go. Actually, we may have it, but the game just took really long to start for some reason. But we are here, game number 1. LVC looking to make a statement here. Again, they will be without the captain for the rest of the semester. So, they, of course, they still here, giving them support from the coaching side of things. But you see a bit of an awkward commit there from both Samus and Blarf. Bichette's though able to make the save. Now Dustin going to be trying to dive onto this ball. But it'll be Vale looking to cover it up. Now has a chance to shoot, but doesn't really have a good angle or a lot of boost to work with. Has to back away. Now Bichette's 1v1 control in the corner, but this is going to be going Carthage's way. Shot will not go. In the second, the follow-up will end up being saved. So now Bichette's trying to get this out of the half of LVC, but they are being stifled right now. All the control going to Carthage at the moment. A demo there from Dustin as well onto Blarf. LVC need to find a way out of this. They're doing a good job defensively, but they just need some time to get boost. They need some time to get any form of offensive pressure in. That's going to start here. Bichettes can't get the pass off to Samus. Then will get 50'd. Blarf, though, coming around, looking to get a second touch through the midfield, but won't. As now it is again Carthage on the attack. Bichettes won't get the touch there. Vale just waiting out in the corner, and that's going to be the commit. That's going to be the shot and the goal. Carthage going to go up 1-0 here in game number 1. Carthage looking to solidify their spot in the grand final of this division. Double demo there, one from each side. I believe it was actually a trade between Samus and, I think it was Samus and Saucy there that traded. So now Samus will be on ball, has Blarf to look for the outlet pass, but gets it a bit too far ahead of himself. And I was seeing this a bit earlier in the scrim that was being ran beforehand, as another shot doesn't go through, but gets insanely close. That one was maybe half an inch away from being another goal for Carthage. But as I was saying, there's a lot of big touches that were leading to kind of a loss of possession here for for LVC, and they need to be very careful about those large touches leading into the solo plays. As Bichette's now looking to carry it off the top of his car, won't get there, but Samus does. Now Bichette should be downfield, and he is, and that ends up going right towards his net. Blarf is back for the back pass. Now Dustin looking to wrap it around. Saucy has a chance to shoot, but two LVC players just jumping right on top of that one. 2:30 on the clock. Vale gets the reset, gets the second, but doesn't decide to use it. Samus now in towards the midfield. Bichette's trying to get away. Ends up passing it straight down to Blarf. Good shot attempt, but will get blocked immediately. Get a chance to send that one through. Now Bichette's off the ceiling, trying to maybe send this one out to the midfield. Samus does get there. Bichette has to back away. Blarf, though, filling the spot correctly there. So now LVC are starting to get on the attack. Samus looking for the shot from behind. Doesn't quite get it. Blarf now puts it off the ceiling. Has Samus there, but can't get the touch. Vale will send it away. Saucy now all the way downfield. LVC now are starting to get a lot of control of the ball here, but it's not really amounting to a ton of shots. It's not even amounting to, it's not really amounting to goals either. It's an open net for Saucy, but you'll see, I believe that was Blarf that got back in the very last possible second before it would have been a goal. Carthage nearly getting a second there, and LVC need to get on the attack here. They want things to go their way, but they're struggling to get much possession at the time. Bichettes tries to get this one out of the corner, does at least get it to Samus, and now they can go for the attack. Dustin gets a weird jump off the back wall there, and have to leave it for his teammates to make this play. Bichette's just waiting for it. The good demo there from Blarf now allows Bichette's for the solo, has a 1v1. The bump comes in, but not strong enough on it. I believe that was Samus that got the bump, but again, was not enough power on it to make it a proper opening for the shot. It's now just 40 on the clock, still only down by 1, but LVC need to find the back of that Carthage net. The Firebirds are holding on strong right now. Saucy has 1v1 with Blarf, but will be Blarf that again gets a save. They need to start making a play here, as that's going to be a whip, but maybe not expecting it as Saucy. Now looking for a second shot, but doesn't have a good angle with just 15 on the clock. LVC are starting to try and move this one downfield, but Samus gets the long angle too. And this is just such a tough spot to be in if you're Lebanon Valley. There has to be a way to get this downfield, but can at least rely on the ball being in the air here. 3, 2, 1, and now the ball cannot touch the ground if you're Lebanon Valley, but it'll just be a second goal. Vale will get it, and it is a 2-0 scoreline in favor of Carthage. They'll take game number 1. Lebanon Valley now on the back foot, but again, a best of 7 to get the extra game. As Carthage, solid one there. I mean, they kept LVC in their own half for a large majority of that game. And really, that's what gives them the victory. Let's take a look at the stats here. As you can see, LVC with 5 saves in total, but still not enough. In the demos category, you're seeing 3 from Blarf, but outside of that, LVC only getting 1 apiece for Sam Bichettes. Here in game number 2, LVC looking to up the pace early. They got to be careful here. They've had opportunities, but they really haven't been able to capitalize on them. That one's off the ceiling, almost bounces in, but it ends up being a saucy own goal. To be fair, I don't know if you're really going to be able to save that one regardless. That's just a very heavy touch by Bichettes, and yeah, not much you can do if you're saucy in that position. So LVC getting on the board, getting a quick lead here. And that's exactly what they needed here in game number 2. Game 1 was very close, so definitely had the opportunity, but yeah, with the redirect, trying to send that one. Scare Lebanon Valley, but a bit of a whiff in the corner. And Samus can send this one away. That's a good touch from Saucy. Is anyone from Carthage able to capitalize? Doesn't look like it for the time. Only 2 shots, by the way, in game number 1. One coming from Bichettes and the other coming from Blarf. So I think that's definitely something to keep note of as well. Just not really getting any offense in. Bichettes taking a lot of time here, and that's going to get poked away. And Vale also has now an opening, but I don't really see anyone from Carthage in the vicinity. Saucy now has to try and attempt the 1-on-3, basically. Dustin in an awkward spot, still gets the back touch. But LVC are very much on the back foot here again, and that's going to be Saucy capitalizing. LVC very slow defensively there. That's exactly what's going to give Carthage that goal. They've now found a way to equalize. Also, I'm just now seeing Vale, the only player to score last game, and I believe that was Saucy there. So someone else getting on the board, but both goals from the side of Carthage were assisted. So that's something that's worth looking out for as we continue throughout this series. Also, both saves coming from Dustin on the side of Carthage last game. And that's like 8 resets in one little play there for, I believe that was Dustin. Samus not able to get anything off that touch. Blarf now looking to send it out mid, does do just that, but it is contested, so the ball flies at a bit of a higher speed than LVC would have liked. Saucy gonna get the beat, but doesn't really have any way to possess that. So now Vale just off the backboard. Samus is looking to take a shot, and he does just that, rips it on net. Now Vale has to fly on up. Bichettes with the contention, and Samus just waiting to see where this one goes. Blarf is in position as well. Shot will not connect. Blarf has been struggling with a lot of those shots not just this series, but I've been seeing even in the scrim, he was struggling to get a lot of shots on target. A lot of them hitting the crossbar and the sideboard. Needs to look to clean that up. Bichettes gonna try and take this one in from Samus, but a bit of awkward touch, awkward spot there. LVC still struggling to get much offense going. They've looked a lot better this game, but it still has not been a whole lot in terms of shots, and especially shots on target. Another shot will come in there, but it's still a bit too tall for the back of the net. Demo comes through, but so far, I mean, still nothing for Carthage, and that's going to be a no touch on the second. Won't get the double there for Carthage. Now Bichettes out mid. The Blarf shot is on target, but there's nothing there. Not a lot of power on it. Dustin off the backboard or off the side wall does manage to get something now on the ceiling, trying with 0 boost. So he's got to be careful. Dustin could be out of position, but the teammates again are just playing so fast that giving the offense a lot of space to work here. Now will roll up on the backboard, no bounce, so LVC will have to adjust to that one. Now a demo comes through, but zero boost for Samus, just trying to get a 50 out mid, but does not go his way. LVC are going to have to find a different avenue to the back of this Carthage net. You're seeing Carthage start to get a little bit more and more space. It's almost like a ticking time bomb of when that second goal will come through, but that's a big save there. So now LVC again have possession. Fail, sends it over. Now Dustin bounces it off the ceiling. Doesn't have boost, so LVC will get possession once again. Throws defensive touch. That one's on target. Blarnf, though, that third man back. Pass to Dustin. Ends up getting chased. That's a good chase from Samus. We're just 50 on the clock. It's looking like LVC just trying to survive to OT. Shot on target, though, ripped into the back of the LVC net is Carthage, and that is Dustin getting their first on the board of this series. Just managed to find the open space and capitalizes off of it. LVC double there and still do not get to the ball fast enough. And with just 40 seconds left, that could be almost a third, but Bichette does at least get back. Crisis averted, but you still need to find the back of the Carthage net, which has been something that has just been almost an anomaly this series. Samus sending another one away. Solo for Bichette, just trying to find a teammate. Blarnf does become the outlet. Can't dive on top of that one, though, so now you're going to, again, see Lebanon Valley kind of struggle here to find much of anything. Bichette's out, does get the beat, and this is a huge opportunity, double opportunity, but look at that save from Dustin. The perfect position for Dustin, and that may very well be game number 2 to Carthage. LVC need to keep this ball in the air, and that's at least a big help. Samus can't send it out, but Blarnf gets a touch, will not go. Carthage take game number 2, and now they are up by 2. 2-0 lead, and LVC do have a timeout here, so they may look to use it here soon if they ever so please. As we take another look at the stats here, this one in game number 2. Again, best of 7, so this isn't the end of the world. It's not ideal, but it's not the end of the world for the series. Bichette's putting in the 1 goal for Lebanon Valley there, and I was assisted from Samus, but on the other side of Carthage, pop the spectate real quick. On the other side of Carthage, you're seeing 4 saves from Dustin. Huge work out of them, and you're also seeing the assist category continue to light up. Every goal, I believe, in this series from Carthage has been assisted. There's 2 in that game, so you are seeing that as well. Bichette has a solo. Will end up having to leave it for Samus. Does it come into a save? It does. Saucy going to get the hands on that one. Rather the underside of the car on that one. The axles, if you will. And continuing to contest, Bichette playing it very smart, being patient on this one, but Saucy may have done just enough. Actually, no. 50 out. It will have to be someone else. Samus does get a good 50 there. I believe Blarnf had something to do with it there, too. Tries to get a bump, but maybe a bit too far forward if you're Blarnf. Have to be careful. Samus now, again, stuck with possession, but not making a whole lot out of it. Bichette sending it downfield. We've been seeing a good bit of saves from LVC last game. I mean, there were 4 in total, and again, another 1-goal scoreline. I mean, technically game 1 was 2-0, but the second goal came in at triple zeros, so it was a 1-score game literally the entire time. But you also can consider that still 2-0. A 2-0 is still a 2-0. LVC need to find ways to capitalize. They even put in a ton of shots last game. They had 6 total shots. And again, a lot of saves. Almost a good shot from Bichette, but can't quite get the angle. It's just been a very defensive series, I'd say, overall. I mean, both sides having a ton of saves to their names. Good demo there from Bichette. Forces a touch out from Blarnf, but doesn't have boost. Samus can't get the redirect off the backboard. Blarnf just barely able to come in for the save. LVC are continuing to struggle here as they are stuck in their own half almost the entire game. LVC looking to get anything offensively, but it has just been a massive struggle the entire time. That one's a pass out to the left side of the field, and Samus will at least read it and get the second touch. Bichettes now has an opportunity, but will go away over towards Blunt. Dustin off the ceiling, doesn't get the flip. So Bichettes just going to try to redirect it, and actually now this is getting right into the midfield of London Valley's net. This is actually huge bumps from Bichettes there on the left side. Just goes for the fake and tries to flick it over the last player, but not a lot of cohesion there on the LVC attack. Nothing they can do. Vale gets to the ball, gets to the shot, and gets the goal. All to go. 1-0. Dustin gets the assist. Samus just doesn't get the read on the shot. Goes low and ends up being a top corner shot. And again, LVC find themselves at a deficit. They were leading in game number 2, but ultimately it was Carthage that found 2 in a row to close out game 2. Winning this game would be massive for Carthage. I mean, you'd force a reverse sweep and a best of 7. That's not something that happens very often. Now LVC looking like they can get an opportunity, but pass will be intercepted. This one's out mid. Blunt is there, but ends up whiffing on the ball. Another big opportunity shot for Vale once again. Assist, shot, and goal. Carthage Red looking unstoppable right now. 2-0. Bichettes can't quite boost up for the save. This is going to be a very tough one to come back from if you are Ludlam Valley. Demo doesn't come in from Blunt, but at least forces a bit of an awkward play from Vale. Saucy with the shot, and I actually thought there was someone in net, so I thought it was going to get saved, but actually no. Now Carthage are blowing this lead wide on open. 1:28 on the clock, and now it's looking like it could be a 3-0 lead if you are Carthage, and that is a massive set line to have. LVC are struggling to get control of the ball here, and they're getting dominated on the defensive side. They're getting a lot of saves, but it's not really helping them because there's just so much possession. That's a reset goal from Saucy. 4-0, and now they're just piling it on over and over. See the weight there, and final jump, or final flip, sorry, of Saucy. We'll put the style on the goal and the dominance of all things. 4-0, now just a runaway for Carthage. It's looking like they're going to book their spot against what I would assume would be Mizzou, unless if Mizzou ends up forfeiting, but I don't see why that ever happened. Of course, they were division champions last semester as well, so they've already booked their spot into the national tournament, but these two teams both looking to book theirs, as neither of them have that LCQ spot. The loser here will lose that spot as well. There will be no nationals for the team that loses this matchup. Simply just a third place match next week. This is looking like a double for Saucy. No boost, but almost makes it work. It'll end up being Vale. 5-2-0. And there's really not much left to say about this one. 38 on the clock, and good shot there. A good shot attempt from Saucy. I actually thought they had it, but not quite. Ends up having to be an assist instead of a goal. But that one is almost rolling back into the LVC net as well for the 6-0. Now Vale looking for it. Bichettes, good contest. Sent away. Off backboard, nothing there. Bichettes just trying to be careful with the ball here. Only 3 boosts to the name. Samus come through, and now it's going to be a double, actually. Blarf dies for that one, but in the end of the day, it's not really going to mean a whole lot. That will be game number 3, a 3-0 lead. Is there anything else left in the tank for Lebanon Valley? You have a huge hole to dig yourself out of here. And I mean, the stat sheet, I'd imagine, is going to show up entirely red there. I mean, one thing you're looking at is, well, one, I can see Bichettes has called a timeout, so LVC will be taking a little bit of extra time here to talk things over, but while we're there, let's talk about the stats. I mean, Bichette had 5 demos in that game. That's a lot more than I actually realized. I didn't think there were that many demos as a whole, but Blarf with 0 and 2 out from Samus. And I mean, you're seeing a hat trick there from Vale, 2 in from Saucy as well, and 4 of those 5 being assisted. Again, every single goal in this series has been assisted from Carthage, except for one, and I'm blanking on which goal it could have been from that game, but again, Carthage just just kind of blowing the lead open in that game, and even in the saves category, you still have 4 in total from Lebanon Valley, 2 from Bichette's, 2 from Blarf apiece. But there's not a lot that they're able to do. They have been stuck in their own half for almost the entire series, realistically. Their goals have come off of counterattacks for the most part, and we're not seeing a lot of chances for Lebanon Valley to get back into this series, and to be fair, there just haven't been opportunities to begin with. And out of this timeout, we're going to have to see if they get that timeout buff, but again, it's going to come to a reverse sweep for Lebanon Valley if they want to take this series, keep their Nationals hopes alive. And we'll say possession has been a bit of a rough issue here for LVC, as again, we are just, I believe the timeouts are like a minute, something like that, so we have a little bit of time left. Also, I'm just now seeing 11 shots on target for Carthage, and when you're putting out that many shots, you're just almost bound to win the game. Especially that's what we've been seeing from LVC over the course of the season. There's been a lot of teams where they've just had 10, 12, I've even seen, I think, 15 plus shots in a game from this team. And that's how you win sometimes. You just simply have you're just playing faster, you're getting more shots on target, you're just getting the bigger advantage offensively. So we'll have to see what the adjustments are for LVC out of this timeout, and it's been pretty bleak so far. I mean, they only have 1 goal across the entire series, and that just simply cannot happen. And that's compared to 9 from the side of Carthage. Just not ideal overall, but we'll have to see what comes through. And let me actually take a check while we have the time to see if there's anything in terms of an update on the other side of the bracket. I don't believe so, but I can take a quick look here for you guys while we get into game number 4, as we are popping into it just now. Sam's gonna have to backtrack for this one, and that game is actually supposed to start at this time at the same time this one was, so there has not been an update, but of course we will get that, or I will get that to you guys if there is anything to say before stream ends. But look at this, LVC coming off the break and looking to put a ripper on net. Sam is getting the first shot, and not quite going to be a goal, but a good look for Lebanon Valley very early on here. That's exactly what they needed to get back into this series. Well, I'm going to put Samus in a bit of an awkward spot. Pass out mid, no one home. You're just trying to read Bichette's there. Vale will have to back away. Samus now solo actually ends up putting himself a bit too far ahead of it. Bichette's not going to get there. Now Vale has an opportunity. Everyone not getting a touch on the ball. It looks like everyone's forgotten how to play Rocket League. 50 out mid now. Vale shot, target, and goal. Carthage picking up right where they left off, and that is just a great shot. Saucy gets the 50 onto Samus, but Bichette's not in position. No demos on the goal line simply because there was no one on the goal line. Blarf was a bit behind, and it's going to lead to another goal for the side of Carthage. Another demo in from Blarf. Gives LVC some space, and that's what they've needed this entire series. They've needed space. They have not been able to get anything going because they just haven't had the ability to. They've been stuffed this entire series long. Vale sets it down once again. Dustin looking for the pass outfield, but overshoots Saucy. And this one's in a really awkward spot. Saucy tries to get the second shot. Rebound won't go. Now back to Vale. as the reset actually drives past the ball. But it will be Saucy putting a second through the back of the net. Now with 3:20 on the clock, another 2-0 lead for Carthage. And this is not what you want to see coming out of that timeout. Saucy looking for that backboard, but will be sent out by Samus. And that's a bit scary. Saucy's right there. Bichettes, though, reads the shot, gets the save. Now LVC need to find a way to get out of their own half, but Saucy again. It's just a relentless attack here from Carthage. As unfortunately the goal cam broke for a second, or the replay broke for a second, but you are seeing it there. And this is getting brutal if you are Lebanon Valley. .250 left, and LVC have exactly 2 minutes, 50 seconds to prove that they belong here, or at least prove that they can keep up with this Carthage team. I shouldn't say that they belong here. That might be a bit of a harsh terminology, but prove that they can keep up. Vale looking for the backboard, looking for the double. Blanc reads it. Away. Dustin out again. But no, it'll be Samus and Bichettes contested by Saucy. Samus doesn't get the touch there. It looked a bit weird on our screen, but no touch there. No boost for Bichettes, so LVC again forced to go back. .150 left. Bouncing out. Will be a shot on target from Val. Good shot there all the way from the corner, but it will not connect. It does get saved, I believe. At this point, Carthage is looking to put the dot, put the final touches on this win. Looking to sign a contract right on the dotted line for that final, and they are looking like they're going to do just that. 1:19 left, and it is now 4-2-0. This would have to be a comeback of immense proportions if you are Lebanon Valley. Bichettes sending it away. Hale letting this one go to Saucy, and that is another shot on goal. But of course, that's a very slow roller, and Samus was waiting for it the entire time. But with just 1 minute left, that's looking like it might be the NECC season outside of the third place match for Lebanon Valley. 50 seconds. It's just not, I don't think, really that feasible to get 5 goals realistically to win this game, but 4 in the span of 40 seconds. Saucy again just taking all the time off the clock, and this is just feeling like a victory lap if you are Carthage, and it's kind of what it is. Of course, you can see the support behind the LVC players. Captain Frenchie and, of course, Coach Shanky behind the players. Not a lot you can do here if you are Lebanon Valley. There's 10 seconds left to play out, and unfortunately for them, that will be their run in the playoffs. That we will not qualify for the national tournament as far as I know. Of course, stay updated on our Twitter and Instagram to see if something that I missed goes all right. But that will be game. That will be series. 4-0 in Game 4. And Lebanon Valley will fall there in the semifinal to Carthage. They'll go on to play the winner of Mizzou and Hoosiers Cream. Let's take a quick look at the final set of stats here. You can see 2 goals in from Saucy, 1 apiece from Vale and Dustin. In the assist column, you have every single goal assisted once more. And that is just something that is kind of crazy to see. Every single goal in that series, except for one, I believe, was was assisted. I could be wrong on that, unless if my numbers are messed up here, but I don't believe so. And even seeing in that shots category, 10 in total. Just not great for the side of Lebanon Valley. But that is going to do it for us tonight. We will catch you guys here on Monday. This Rocket League team will be back in action. They still have a lot more to go. They have the NECC playoffs yet. They will be taking on Southern Miss Gold. So make sure you follow down below. Turn those notifications on to see when we go live. Of course, they will be taking, again, as I said, they will be taking on University of Southern Mississippi Gold. That will be at 7 p.m. on Monday, so make sure you guys tune in for that. Also, we have Rainbow next week taking on two different opponents, one in NECC, one in NACE, as they look to continue their runs. Of course, they are taking the third place match as well in NECC, so we'll see what they do there. In NACE, they have the semifinal where they are currently the #1 seed as they take on Fair State next Thursday and prepare for the QCC LAN. That'll do it for us tonight, though. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at LVC_esports on both those platforms. Go subscribe to us on YouTube. We put out a weekly podcast every single week. Of course, it is a weekly one. As we last week, or a couple days ago, we got to talk with the newest player to Lebanon Valley, Spapo, who is the substitute player for Rainbow Six, who will be likely on the starting roster next season. So be sure to go tune into that as well. YouTube.com/@LVC Esports on there. Thank you guys all for watching. We will catch you guys here on the other side on Monday. Make sure you have a great weekend. Stay safe. And we'll see you guys on Monday as LVC Rocket League looks to take on Southern Miss Gold in the NACE semifinals. We'll see you guys on the other side.